This shit going on with the black people, man. They're getting killed and all this shit, right? She's like, man, bro, Black Lives Matter. I said, bitch, I don't give a fuck about none of that. It's Longos.
Come on, Papa. God damn.
Anasata la nata. Another day crab.
Smoking like a Newport, I'm strapped up like a Jansport or Everest. I'm high as Mount Everest. Say I'm heavy, saying you're irrelevant to this Crip shit. Switches with the cooler kid, binary trigger shit.
Rap News Street Politics, the best hood channel on YouTube, and we back on the east side of Long Beach with three of the most active hoods going at it right now on the east side, with the east side Longos, Barrio Pobre, and Baby Insane Crip. Now this year has really been cracking in Long Beach with a situation that some people are calling 23 days and 23 nights, where the Insanes, the Longos, and the BPs have really been putting it down with the gunplay. And some top members have lost their life in 2025. Now we all see the city been going crazy. Some high profile murders have transpired in LA and Long Beach. Now we've heard about the numbers declining, reaching all-time lows in the last 5 years between LA and Long Beach in shootings and murders. But like I said, with the numbers going low, we see the people that are getting hit are some big name, high profile people in their city. Now with Barrio Pobre and the Longos, these is two Sureño hoods that's pushing CK harder than 85% of the blood hoods in the whole city. We know there's only a few blood and Paru hoods that's really pushing CK, giving no passes. The Longos and the Pobres pretty much on that in the city with all Crips. And we do see the Longos pushing that red rag. I've also seen some red rags around Barrio Pobre as well, but the Longos do be flamed up. And we all know that this has resulted in Long Beach being one of the most racist places in the city.
Yeah, do you bang?
I just told you a minute ago I don't bang.
Oh, do you bang? You don't bang?
No, I don't.
Look, that shit. Fuck class, homie. Fuck niggas. Logo side, homie.
Wait, why you gotta say?
Now we hear a lot of Southside hoods, and a lot of people put the racist label on a lot of Southside hoods. But for the most part, the Sureño sets that are associated with that, most of them don't even share their city with black hoods. Some like the T-Flats and the 155s, who have got that label on them of being racist. Of course, they share Compton with a lot of black hoods. But we still see most of the racial tension really popping in Long Beach, on the east side, west side, and the north side. We know the Longos have 3 different sets, east side being the biggest and the oldest, with about 1,000 documented members on the east. The west side forming off a breakoff from the east, being their second oldest and second largest set. And of course, beefing with the 8-0s on the west side. And then the north side, they third set, beefing with all the Crips in the north.
Who's your uncle? Who's your uncle? I bet y'all niggas not even from Longos, nigga. What nigga? Viejo, nigga. So, nigga. Alright, nigga.
Puchas, nigga.
Puchas, nigga. I ain't no pucha, nigga. Alright, for sure. Puchas, nigga. What?
Alright, nigga.
Now, Barrio Pobre is a smaller hood. There's also a BP in Anaheim, and I heard they also had a setup in Compton as well. But not a lot of people talk about Barrio Pobre, but this is who's really getting cracking right now with the Insanes. And of course, they also beefing with the Longos. But everything seemingly jumped off February 16th of this year in one of the 2 Barrio Pobre hoods in Long Beach. Now, they main spots on the east side, everybody knows it, Daisy and 10th, and pretty much all down Daisy, Drake Park, Big John's Liquor, between Anaheim and 7th. This is the hot spot for Barrio Pobre over here on the east. But they also have a section between Long Beach and Atlantic and PCH and 15th, with their main block being 16th Street over here. Linden Block and Esther Block is also in this area as well. But this is where they border the Insanes over by 14th and Locust, Rolling 20s, and the Longos is gonna be over here.
Sitting on the loan, just thinking on what the homies on. They trapped them in the system, but fuck it, burn out a homie gone. But keep the step and you chosen, they change it back. I'm trying to catch a body with a shot and leave their face crack. Cause I'm from where they really clap you up for crazy hats. But fuck it, we outside with gang tats posted on Daisy ass.
But a couple blocks up from 16th Street on Long Beach and PCH, 18-year-old John McIntyre allegedly got cracking on a dude from Barrio Pobre named Grouchy, aka Edgar Ortiz Escamilla. Now, it said that Grouchy was a Love member over here. It said that he got out the pen a little bit less than 2 years ago, and in broad daylight, 4:30, 18-year-old black male John McIntyre, again, allegedly got cracking, shooting Grouchy and another man, with Grouchy losing his life over here. Now, this is what's said to be the start of the situation between Barrio Pobre and Insane this year. Now, Long Beach averages about 35 murders a year, so I'm sure 2024 situations have led up to this point. But like I said, Grouchy, well-respected and well-loved member over here, BP wasn't letting it slide. So like I said, with Insane, they got two different sections. We know the borderline of PCH, 21st, 23rd, Mike's Liquor, they controlling a big section on the east side. But they also do got a pocket between 15th and Anaheim and Long Beach and Pacific, where they be at that park on 14th and Locust. And 2 days after Grouchy gets killed, this is where a reputable member from Insane, Chief Rails, the Rail Shell, ends up getting caught. And again, the streets is buzzing about Barrio Pobre being responsible for this.
Smoke a nigga like a Newport, I'm strapped up like a Jansport or Everest. I'm high as Mount Everest. Bitch say I'm heavy, saying you're irrelevant to this Crip shit. Switches with the cooler kid, binary trigger shit, I'm lethal.
Now, this was 2 days after Grouchy was killed. On March 6th, Edgar Salazar goes down for the murder. Now, like I said, 16th between Long Beach and Atlantic is Barrio Pobre hood and one of their main blocks. Edgar Salazar stayed on 16th and Pacific, not too far from their main block over there, east of Long Beach. Now, the Longo hood also overlaps this whole area. And honestly, the Longos can be anywhere in this situation between 14th Street, 10th Street. The Longos are the biggest hood overall in Long Beach, with the Insanes being the second biggest hood in Long Beach. So it's a lot of overlapping going on over here on the east side. But again, this situation has been chalked up to Barrio Pobre and Insane. And this is what allegedly started, like I said, what some people are calling 23 days and 23 nights, where it got cracking after Chief Rails lost his life. Now, the next day after Rails loses his life, another shooting jumps off on 20th and Pacific. This is the borderline of Insane and Rolling 20s, where it said at 3 a.m. somebody was walking and got rolled up on by somebody on a bike and ended up getting hit. Didn't lose his life though, but this is the third shooting in 3 days, with one person from east side losing their life.
Tell them where we at too.
It's really in Atlanta. We right here on 14th Street on the east side of Long Beach, you feel me? We got many cliques out here, bro, but we just chose to be right here on the set, from Jekyll to the Dukes to the Pee-wees and all that. My Ditos and all of them. Lonely Boys, Night Owls, nigga, all of them, homie. All of them, bro.
But earlier that day, it did go down in the east side Longos off 14th and Rose. Now, again, they be on 14th. A lot of hoods be on 14th. But 14th and Rose is also going to be in the Asian Boy Crips hood. But for the most part, around this area, east side Longo do be over here. And it said that two men jumped out on some east side Longos and shot somebody and their dog over here just hours before that shooting on 20th and Pacific. And a couple blocks down from when that shooting took place, on the same night, it said the police had watched somebody on Anaheim and Dawson, again in this east side Longo hood. A 17-year-old kid had jumped out with a ghost gun and started popping at two people in the alley. So this is 5 shootings in 3 days this year surrounding Grouchy and Rails murders, all on the east side of Long Beach. And the next day after this, February 20th, 2 blocks down from where Rails got killed on 12th and Pine, another man shot in his chest, but again, he didn't lose his life. Now, there were 2 more shootings on February 21st and 22nd. Nobody ended up getting hit, but they picked it back up February 27th on Anaheim and St. Louis, again, east side Longo hood, where a female was hitting a vehicle. And 2 weeks later, they got cracking on 2 more females around the corner from where Rails got killed on Anaheim and Elm. where some people fired some shots into a crowd, hitting 2 more females again. All these shootings luckily resulted in nobody losing their life. But during this 23 days, 23 nights, it was cracking over here on the east side.
Come on, Papa. Come on, Papa. God damn.
On the seta la nata. Another dead crab.
Now, it started to slow down with another shooting in March and another shooting in April. But in May, 2 blocks over from where Grouchy lost his life, on PCH and Locust, a 19-year-old female, Dariana Cole, allegedly catches Jordan Mosby, aka Short Dog, at the taqueria right here, and again, allegedly takes his life. Now, this is right next to Barrio Pobre hood. The Longos, the 20s, and the Insanes is also going to be over here. But a lot of people on the streets are screaming, get back for reals. I can't say if Dariana and Short Dog was connected to that situation, but again, this is 2 blocks from where Grouchy lost his life. Another Hispanic male loses his life, and somebody's been lighting up Eastside Longo hood. So again, with the numbers on decline, people is trying to lay some shit down, but the shootings aren't resulting in people losing their life, luckily. Now, the key thing we see from a lot of these hoods on the east side, mainly the big 4, with the Rolling 20s included, but right now, like I said, Longo, Barrio Pobre, and Insane getting cracking. What we see from them 3 hoods is like they sometimes go on a spree and just get cracking on all their enemies at one time. It was a situation a couple years back where 3 teenagers from Longo had went down for 2 murders and 10 attempts between 2019 and 2020. They had shot 3 people on 2 separate occasions within 2 days in Barrio Pobre hood on Main and 9th. They shot a female in Insane hood the month prior on 21st and Locust. They ended up shooting 5 people on the border of Black Bandit and Rolling 20s hood on 10th and Alamitos. And they had hit somebody from SOS on Warren and Anaheim. But they started the whole situation off killing somebody who was allegedly from Barrio Pobre off Magnolia and 15th. 36-year-old Jaime Ruiz, where it said that one of the teens that walked up banged on these dudes over here off Magnolia and ended up letting off on 3 people, killing Jaime Ruiz. And a month later, they caught somebody of Pacific Islander or Asian descent over here in the section they share with the Asian boys. 32-year-old Bradley Mees off 14th and Raymond. Again, like I told y'all, 14th is a hot block, but they ended up shooting 2 people with Bradley Mees losing his life. But this is what I mean with these hoods over here go on sprees looking for any of their enemies and just get cracking on all of them in a short span of time. The east side of Long Beach is not that big, and a lot of these hoods, like I said, is overlapped with the Longos, but it goes up with Barrio Pobre, Insane, and the Longos.
From the east to the beach, to the west to the coast, east side, west side, and we up to the north. I got your crab down bad and burn them up like some toast. And I been with the bullshit, been hop out the porch. You know that 562 be the area code. 1400, this a no crab zone.
Now, the interesting thing that we see in Long Beach, not only is these 3 hoods beefing, but most of the Crip hoods are also going to be beefing as well. Of course, with the exception of the gangsters, the Insanes, Linden Block, Esther Block, 2 Ends, and then, of course, the alliance between the Asian boys, SCA, the rest of the city's Crips, and the 80s and the 20s. It's a lot of Crip on Crip beef in the city. But Cinco, out the 50s from the Brick Boys, had made a statement the other day, speaking on how the other Crip hoods in Long Beach, aside from Rolling 20s and Insane, really shouldn't be beefing because there's no murder beef between these hoods. Hoods like Black Bandit and Brick, 2 Ends and Brick, 2 Ends and 80, basically calling for more unity with the Crippin' in Long Beach, which will honestly clear up their politics over here in the city, because Long Beach is one of them cities that does have some muddy and confusing politics. Again, we got a city full of Crips. They pretty much all beefing. We got Black Bandit pushing 4X. We got racial tension. It's a lot going on in Long Beach. And the thing is, what we see from the Longos is 2 different things. Number 1, Eastside Longo, like I said, had some internal beef and broke apart, resulting in Westside Longo forming. Eastside and Westside was beefing at one point, but they put their beef down to go against the Rolling 20s and the Insanes. And it said that the Longos are also responsible for the Asian and other type hoods forming, because they was applying pressure through unity. And we also have seen the Longos not only being racist with the black hoods in Long Beach, but we also see them whacking out the whole Samoan community as well. So they seem to want to beef it and be racist with everybody that's not in a circle. Now the Longos, I see something as like what the Weemas should be doing. Different sides of their hoods and they all beefing, but they need to clean it up. But the thing is with the Weemas, they don't have a hood over there in Wilmington or even in Carson that's as big as Insane that they beefing with for real. So it's really no incentive for Weemas to be clicking up to go against anybody. This is why it looks the way it does over there in Wilmington. It made sense for the Longos to do it. And Cinco out the 50s is pretty much calling for the Crips to do it because it's no murder beef.
Corner blocks never killed nobody from bricks, bro. The Brick Boys ain't never killed nobody from Black Bandit. The Black Bandits ain't never killed nobody from bricks. The Black Bandits ain't never killed nobody from 4 corner blocks. The Insanes ain't never killed nobody from bricks. The bricks ain't never killed nobody from Insane. The 20s and Insane, that's different. I don't know, but I don't know. All the hoods I just said, bro, ain't nobody ever died, bro. Long Beach, though, we all run one. Bricks, Insanes, 20s, Black Bandits, we all won. Oh, Long Beach. Oh, we're Long Beach. Why is it not broken down like that?
Now, it's an argument for really who's the most hated in Long Beach. Some people say the Longos. Of course, most people say the Longos. After this situation, earlier this year, when we seen Barrio Pobre do their hood vlog, they said they was the most hated. And of course, other people will say the Babies is the most hated. But for the most part, it's not too many allies with the Southsiders. We did see the Longos with the Lomas. And we was in the Lomas hood the other day. Shout out to them young niggas that we rolled up on in the Lomas, man. They kept it solid when we was in their section, and their young members was outside moving militant. But I say that to say, the Lomas chilling with Longo, and we know the Longos have a reputation for being racist. Not everybody in their set is gonna necessarily push that. I've talked to dudes from Eastside Longo all the way back when we did the Long Beach Most Dangerous. Not gonna put people's name out there, but dudes did reach out and show love and support. And they do have black members in both Barrio Pobre and in the Longos. But of course, we do have people that push the race line. And this is what we seen from Baby Evil out of Longo East, when he tried to take out 4 people in one night, shooting 2 blacks and 2 Barrio Pobres within an hour of each other. Now, he rode up on 2 black dudes, Larry Hood and Keyshawn Robinson, on 14th. Like we told y'all, 14th, a hot spot. Everybody's on 14th. He pulled up on them dudes and got cracking. These was 2 black dudes on 14th. Now, when he went down, they set him in a room with the Perkins, and he told the Perkins he didn't know where these black dudes was from. He just saw black and started getting off. So it's dudes like that that's really pushing the racial issue and the racial agenda on the East Side. And you know, traditional gangbanging really just turns into this when you beefing with another race. It's inevitable, almost, when you really having some gunplay between black and brown. It just goes there. But an hour after he shot these black dudes, in which they both lived, he's on Daisy in 14th. Like I said, Daisy, main street for Barrio Pobre. He finds Ryan Rodriguez and Edwin Alonzo. Ends up hitting them 2 dudes up in his uncle's car. Now, of course, his uncle ended up going down for it, ratted on his son, who was also from Eastside Longo, and Baby Evil from Eastside Longo. And one of the black dudes that got shot on 14th ended up picking out Baby Evil in the photo lineup, man. And Baby Evil upstate doing 80 years to life, trying to get down on 4 people in one night, pushing the racial tension over here on the East Side.
Oh, fuck, man! On the East Side!
Now, we know the Longos are involved in way more than just beefing with the Insanes and the Barrio Pobres. We see them time and time and again in the federal indictments. Their biggest one, where about 16 dudes in leadership went down, was Operation Blue Ice, which was a 3-year investigation on the Longos, where a lot of confidential informants from East Side, West Side, and North Side Longo was getting down. It was a dude named Chalito, who said to be an inducted member of the Mexican Mafia now, who was actually dealing with a confidential informant from his hood. Now, you know, with the name Blue Ice, you know what they was serving, but they wasn't aware that they homies had flipped. You know, one of them confidential sources had charges for kidnapping, robbery, body armor, all kind of shit. You know, people end up cooperating to lessen the blow of some of the shit that they got caught with, and that's what wrapped the Longos up into this federal indictment. Now, Chalito is serving an L for a murder in an unrelated state case, but he was using his niece as the communicator with the confidential informant. But we also see members like Lonely, Sugar Bear, Big Head, Setio, Wacky, and Smokey, top members over here in the Longos, go down in the same way. Wiretaps, snitches. But 2 years ago, we seen the Longos try to take out one of their confidential informants. On Halloween 2023, the Northside Longos had put a hit out on a female that was snitching. They put $5K on her head, and a dude named Oscar Ramirez from Northside Longo was applying the pressure. It said that he had already shot the bitch and was trying to get her out the way from taking a stand on some Northside Longo homies.
I shot.
Now, she was involved in a previous murder and ended up flipping on her homies. She was already outside putting in work. But on Halloween in Montebello 2023, everything went up. Then people was watching Ramirez and the Northside Longos. They caught him at a gas station, tried to box his whip in while he was trying to carry the hit out on the female rat. He ended up getting off, and the police ended up lighting his ass up. Now, crazy enough, he ended up surviving them shots from the police. But as you can see, the Longos got a lot going on in their hood. Not just the situation between Barrio Pobre and other Crips in the city. And we know the same goes for Barrio Pobre. Now, again, Barrio Pobre is not a big hood, but these dudes did do some high-profile shit, not only finding themselves in indictments, but also with a member named Gumby and Lil Papas out of that Mafiosos Chicos clique getting down on the Long Beach police. Long Beach gang detective officer Daryl Black. Now, it said that these dudes was gearing up over here in the 19th Street hood on the east side. It seems like they was about to get down on some black people when the gang unit pulled up on them right before they was finna lay somebody down who had previously shot Gumby. Now, the police were in an unmarked unit, so I don't know if Gumby didn't realize it or, you know, the heat of the moment, but everything cracked off. He put up 28 shots out of AK, ended up hitting the officer twice in the head, and some other stray bullets caught a pregnant female, hitting her 5 times in her house. And you know, Barrio Pobre, they name made the news like crazy after this, and Gumby is still sitting on death row waiting to be taken out this shit because of that murder in 2 attempts. Now, Lil Papas ended up getting off on that. I don't know how he got off, but they ended up coming back with a federal indictment on that dude over some immigration shit. So, you know, the people came down hard on Barrio Pobre over that situation. It went up and it goes up when you killing cops out here, which is something Barrio Pobre is known for after this.
We in the section, bro. We right here on 16th, fool, the finest, fool, all the way to 10th Street, fool. Most hated in Long Beach.
Now, you know, again, like we said, the racial shit is still there with Barrio Pobre as well. So before they killed that cop, they was on their way to kill another black dude based on a previous shooting. But in 2015, Rowdy from Barrio Pobre ended up getting cracking on a black dude while he was hanging out in the alley with his homegirls. So he was with 2 females. Both, of course, ended up snitching. Dominique Alvarez and AP. Dominique dude was from Barrio Pobre as well. But while they kicking it, a dude named Douglas Wilson pops out of his apartment building and hits the alley. Now, this was over here off of Cedar and 8th in Barrio Pobre hood. And these 2 dudes had ran into each other before. Now, Douglas Wilson, I can't say if he was gangbanging, if he was from 20s or from Insane. But according to Rowdy, he popped into the alley somewhat aggressive, thinking he was hard. Again, according to these dudes from Barrio Pobre. But Rowdy called him out, asking him why he acting hard. And Wilson ends up peeling off his shirt, trying to just get down with Rowdy. At this point, Rowdy cracks a smile and pulls that thing out. He ends up hitting Wilson twice, once in the stomach, once in the chest, and ends up standing over him and putting 2 more into him killing them over here off 8th and Cedar on the east side of Long Beach. Now, the females were saying that Wilson was screaming for help and everything was bad. Now, one of the females was already dead by the time Rowdy had went to trial, but they still played her statement in court based off her confession and what she said in the preliminary hearings. But 5 weeks later, they ended up catching up with Rowdy. He goes down and they place this dumb nigga in a cell with 2 Perkins, and he gets to talking like everybody else does. He talks about he already had a problem with that black dude, and he was bragging about how he got down on the black dude. And he said when he hit him, he went flying. Again, telling all this to the snitches in the tank. Now, he talked himself into a life sentence in this cell for killing this black dude over here off 8th and Cedar. And again, this the type of shit that fuels the racial tension on the east side of Long Beach. And you know, it didn't used to be this much beef with these hoods in Long Beach. At one point, Insane and the Longos got along with each other. And the 18th Streets are cool with the Asian boys and the SCA. But the thing I see a lot of these hoods got a lot of young members. And what we see time and again, these young members are the ones that get cracking at school, whether it's Polly, Cabrillo, or Jordan. All these hoods are combined. In each part of the city, one hood of Longos is there. So this is what is fueling the fire with these young dudes, and it's bleeding over into the streets. But the West Side 80s and the West Side Longos is also known to have a lot of shit going on, as we showed that shootout on Spring Street between the West Side Longos and the 80s. We know Spring Street is that main block right outside them apartments for the 80s. But at one time, they also didn't have problems with the Longos when they formed. And on top of that, the Longos do have Compton Video beef. I seen them beefing with the T-Flats. If I'm not mistaken, they beefing with all the Compton Videos. So like I said, it's a lot that's going on over here in Long Beach, East, West, and North Side. A lot of racism, a lot of CK business as well. But what we seen at the beginning of the year, 23 days, 23 nights, it seemed like after that, shit kind of slowed down a little bit. It was extremely active. But again, the city is on a decline. Long Beach averaging about 35 murders a year. It's probably gonna stay around that same point. But overall, man, y'all make sure y'all stay safe in these streets. The summer's coming to an end. It's still getting cracking. Rest in peace to everybody that's lost their lives. It's a lot of hood days coming as we recording this video. West Side 80s Hood Day is today. So these members is outside and niggas is looking to get cracking. But it's the best hood channel on YouTube. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tapped into the channel. We out.